with Easter less than a week away, where are you and your family going for brunch? To give us some options is our very own food reporter and food enthusiast, Jonathan Wright, to give us some options. Hi, John.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
Good, good.
Good.
I wore pink in honor of the season.
It is spring. So we have a lot of people coming in and out of town, a lot of people celebrating Easter in the next week. But the most important part, at least for a lot of us, is after the church service, which is food, right? We want a nice, big family style brunch. So give us some options for those of us who may want to stay on the Strip for Easter brunch.
So our article at lvrj.com is not just Easter brunch, it's spring brunch and Easter brunch combined. So people should really contact the restaurant to see if it's both, and typically it is, but maybe they have something special for Easter. So our showcase restaurant is Le Cave in the Wynn, which is something very interesting. It sends out small plates, and it's brunch standards, but elevated, but they send it out like dim sum. So it's continually rotating. You go, I want that one. I want the Snickers pancakes. I want the, the French toast batons. I want the Canadian bacon egg sandwich. And then it continues for 90 minutes.
That sounds so good. So again, if you're not familiar with that style, try to think of it as a Brazilian steakhouse. You know, when you have that option of turning that little block red or green and they just keep coming with food, right? And the options there are phenomenal. So if you haven't had a chance to go there, I highly suggest it.
And the dining room is really gorgeous. It overlooks the Wynn Gardens and pool. And there's bottomless beverage packages, which a ton of places do now. So that is a really good option on the Strip. Another option is at the Four Seasons. In other places I've lived, I've always loved to go to the Four Seasons for brunch. It typically is a wonderful brunch. My favorite brunch is a crab omelet and a flute of champagne at the Ritz-Carlton or the Four Seasons. But the Four Seasons here, Veranda Restaurant, is doing a brunch, children and adults. So you can bring the family. It's not like a party brunch.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. As you can tell. Sometimes I just want to eat. I don't need all the dancing going on around me as I'm eating. So that's understandable, especially for a holiday brunch. Especially if you're celebrating Easter, you might want to just have more of a spring brunch option and not so much of a party brunch option like we see here in Las Vegas all the time. Especially for us locals, because as locals, we don't like to go to the Strip that often. Especially, maybe if there's family and friends in town, but for the most part, we like to stay off the Strip. So give us some off the Strip options.
So La Mona Rosa, which is downtown, it's the one with the neon pink monkey.
Yes.
It used to be called La Comida, but there's new owners and they reimagined it. And it has an excellent brunch with a lot of Latin-inspired foods. And also on Saturdays, a pink brunch, which is 5 pink cocktails and pink decor, and then, just your standard main courses. Or not standard, but regular main courses. Not pink pancakes. Or not pink pozole. Oh, God. But anyway.
That could be fun.
I don't
know if it'll taste good, but it could be fun.
Also, out in Henderson, 138 Degrees for this holidays and is doing a 3-course brunch. That's a steakhouse in the main generally, but they're doing a brunch, which is very nice. And Locale, which is in the southwest of the city, an Italian restaurant, is doing brunch as well.
Okay, and that was going to be my next question is, for anyone who wants like smaller plate options or a more unique style of dining or maybe something more culture during the Easter and spring brunch, what would you suggest?
So the small plates is really only being done at Le Cave, unless you go out for dim sum, but that's not what you're asking. I will say that Lotus of Siam now has a weekend brunch.
Yes, they do.
But the scheduling is not set in stone. And every once in a while they have a champagne brunch, well, sparkling wine. So people should call to see which one is being served. But they started it recently.
Yes.
For folks out in Summerlin.
Okay, and I know that in your article you mentioned a couple of Latin restaurants as well.
Peyote, which is downtown.
Very good.
La Mona Rosa. And I think those were the only two that we mentioned.
Okay. Well, Jonathan, as always, thank you. Your articles are always so intriguing. And of course, we all love to hear about new places to go and eat. So I thank you.
Thank you.
And for more food, fun, and everything Jonathan Wright when it comes to the enthusiast, the food enthusiast in you, log on to lvrj.com/entertainment/food. I'm Renee Summerhour. Thank you for joining us.